Today's deep dive video, we're going to be going over Peace River. Peace River would start as a mining company founded by Everett Paxton, a Mekong citizens who would strike out to Badlands in the hope of profit. There, he would purchase an oasis tower, which would be known as Peace River. Even though a mining company, they would eventually start delving into other business opportunities around the start of St. Vincent's War. During the war, they would supply both sides weapons, at a cost, of course, and around by the end of the war, they would be known as Paxton Arms. And by the end of this war, they would start looking into gear manufacturing and start manufacturing gears. This first would prove unsuccessful as other gear manufacturers would dominate the market with their inferior product. But after this conflict, both sides needed as many gears as they could, so they would start buying from them. Though one fateful day would arrive with the invasion of Terra Nova. Here, Peace River would declare themselves neutral in this conflict, as it was just, and this was just a means for them to wait and strike when the right time came, and it would. And this event where Peace River attacked would tip the scale of the war in Terra Nova's favor. The war would end, peace would ensue, but then the interpolar wars would happen around 20 years later. Again, Peace River would stay neutral during this conflict, but one battle brought the fighting into Peace River territory, which turned it into a bloody three-way brawl between Peace River in the north and the south. No other fighting would ever happen in Peace River during the Interpolar War again, and so shortly after, they would broker a peace deal between the North and the South. And while this happened, a group of CEF insurgents would sneak into Peace River City and detonate an antimatter bomb, wiping the city and its populace off the face of the map. This wouldn't be forgotten by the people of Peace River, and this event also leaded to the formation of the Black Talons. This is kind of all of the known lore for now of Peace River. So, going on to Peace River's specific rules and upgrades. Their first is EPEX. One Peace River model within each group may increase its EW skill for 1 threat value. Warrior is just any Warrior 4 can, for 1 TV, get a hold structure 4-2, have their EW skill be 4, and get the Agile trait. Thirdly, Crisis Responders just means any Crusader for the upgraded to Crusader fee can swap their weapon for a heavy autocannon, or not, swap their heavy autocannon and all those medium bazookas, light field gun, and etc. for a medium particle accelerator with React, and a shield for 1 threat value. There's unlimited times you can do this in the force. Next is laser tech. It just means veteran universal infantry and veteran mono wheels can upgrade their IW, IRs, or IS for 1 threat value each, and these weapons receive the advanced trait. And lastly, architects just means that Peace River forces may have their duelist be in Peace River Gear Strider. So moving on to the first sublist, the RDF sublist. Their first rule is Old Trusty. It's where warriors, jackals, and Spartans just increase their gunnery skill by 1 for 1 threat value each. This does not include warrior 4s. And next, Thunder from the Sky is airstrike counters increase their gunnery skill to 3 for 1 threat value each. Thirdly, we have high tech. It just models with weapons that have advanced or guided traits have unlimited availability for all primary units. Fourth, we have the best men and women for the job. It just means one model in each combat group can be from the Black Talon list. So you can have a Black Talon unit in your Peace River combat group. Not lastly, but second to last, we have the elite elements. It's just one strike force unit may change the role to special operations. Lastly is Ghost Strike. It's just models which deploy in a combat group that deploy special operations, gain hidden tokens if they deploy within cover from all of them deploy within cover from at least one enemy model's perspective line of sight. Next, we have the POC sublist. Their first rule is special issue, and it just means Greyhounds can be put in any combat group they want. Secondly, we have ECM specialist, and this is just where one gear or strider per combat group just improves its ECM to ECM plus for 1 threat value. Old Trusty, for POC at least, is Pitbulls and Mustangs increase their gunnery skill by 1 for 1 threat value. Uh, fourthly, actually, we have Peace Officers, and it's just gears from one combat group may swap their rocket packs to shields, and if they don't have rocket packs, they can get the shield trait for 1 threat value. And G-SWAT Sniper is one gear with a rifle per combat group may purchase the improved gunnery upgrade for 1 threat value, without them being a veteran. Lastly, mercenary contract just means one combat group can be made with models from North, South, Peace River, and Newcole that have armor of 8 or lower. And for the last sublist, we have the PPS sublist. XP RDF, you just choose one upgrade from the PRDF, and XPOC is the same for the POC. They get Badlands Sloop, and it's just one combat group can purchase these veteran upgrades for their models without being veterans, and then so you can get better shooting, dual guns, better fighting, and electronic countermeasures. Lastly, subcontractors means, again, like how the POC was, you can have one combat group made with models from North, South, Peace River, and New Coal that have an armor of 8 or less. Moving on to equipment I feel that stands out. Those two equipment pieces are laser cannons and rotary lasers. Laser cannons are just mid to long range powerhouses because they get that +1 result with an optimal range. And your most basic gear can purchase this, turning your basic gear into a threat. Next, we have the rotary lasers. I personally do not feel like it's an overstatement to say they are the Grim Reaper of short to mid range, as 46 +1 minimum in optimal range without any other buffs or boosts is terrifying. And be afraid if you're on the opposite side of that gun. And the units I feel stand out for East River are the Greyhound, the Ulan, and the Warrior. I feel the Greyhound stands out because it's just very fast and mobile, and it's a really good dedicated e-war platform with comms, ECM, and setup. And not to mention it has agile and airdrop, making it already more mobile and movable. Next, the Ulan, it's amazing. It has a medium particle accelerator that it's like damage 9, burst 1, advanced, or something else that can change mode, then it's like AP4. So it really shreds and it hurts, and it has armor 11, which just makes it a beast to try to actually do damage on. And lastly, I chose the Warrior because it's very customizable. You can kit it out with a lot of different options like laser cannons and such, and then you have the upgrades. And most of the time, uh, warriors can at least benefit or use a lot of the sublist options within the sublist, making them the perfect candidate for a unit. Now, moving on to the pros and cons of Peace River is their pros are they have tons of dedicated E-War units. Around 1/5 of them have ECM plus. The number would change as your ECM units. If you chose POC, you could upgrade them to ECM plus. 1/3 of PR units have at least Brawl 1, meaning that they also are a very capable melee force at least. They just get laser cannons and medium rotary lasers on top of Terra Nova weapons. They are slightly more advanced in Elite and a little bit more capable than other Terra Nova gears, and their sublist upgrades are really good. Their cons is, it's kind of well, you win some, you lose some. Their units are better than your average gear, but then again, they are going to be slightly more expensive than your average gear from another faction. And then with sublist options, they can make your gears quite pricey, depending on what you put those points in. You should play Peace River if you want to play a gear force that is a bit more advanced than other factions on Terra Nova, that excels in EOR, can be a melee threat, and has great shooting all across the board. Thanks for watching. Signing off.